I've not filmed in such a long time, and I know it's a very much awaited post. I know a lot of people have asked me how recovery has been since I've been home from surgery, and kind of like if all is well or not. This has actually taken me a couple times to film because it's hard to do it without getting emotional. But since I've been home from surgery, I obviously have done a little bit better. I'm obviously not in and out of the hospital near as much. I am working full time, and just really kind of trying to find like where I belong and like what is life like living post recovery. And I say that because like what it's worth living, because has not been quite easy. I'm not as healed as I thought I would be. I'm definitely still sick. I know I don't look sick, but I think for me, I did really well with like my blood sugars like my first month post surgery, and that was great. I really was hopeful. I still had a hard time like eating, but definitely it was improved enough that I didn't need a feeding tube anymore. I didn't need a J tube, G tube. My liver did start bothering me again, and my blood sugars kind of started to decline. I went from having pretty stable numbers to just like right now it's either I'm high or I'm low. I don't really play this like middle line game, which is unfortunate, because that I really thought that would help. In the surgery I had, they didn't necessarily take out my pancreas. They just took out the head of my pancreas and just tried to enucleate. I don't know if that's how you say the word, so don't come at me. To nucleate the tumor. I do remember like they mentioned that they flipped my pancreas upside down. But yeah, I would say that hasn't entirely helped. It's really hard here post like my post-op visits that I should be better. I should be like, your number should be stabilizing and whatnot. And I mean, I have some of those days where I do, but I've had a lot more not so good days. And I think that's the frustrating part with like where the surgery went, because I think I got my hopes up so high when I did this like life altering surgery that I was told was gonna give me like more time and make life better and easier. Really didn't. I think I really had a good like month and a half period of that, and that didn't last. It does frustrate me because I really wish I advocated a little bit harder for my body. Like, it is my body. I know myself better than anybody else, as to like what my body can and can't do. And now it's to the point where like I really am not really responding to doing injections, doing really any kind of treatment for my blood sugars. If I pass out, obviously, like, we do a lot of ER visits these days so that I can be on a glucagon drip, which is not ideal, and nor do I want to keep spending money to go to the ER. But I think what's scary for me is that it's like the blacking out that's scaring me the most. And I have passed out in a public setting a couple times, and it's very scary. I don't know if people understand like what it's like when you are low, or even like when you're high, like the way you feel and the way like you're not really in your body, if that makes sense. Like your experience, it's almost like an out of body experience. When I'm low, obviously, and I black out and I come back to, it is a very scary feeling for me, because you lose just a little bit of amnesia, that you're like, what happened? Where, like, I was just over here doing this and now somehow I'm on the ground. And it's like that, I think, is what bothers me, is because I'm still in the unknown of things. Like, we've done labs and my labs are still through the roof for my insulin levels and hormones, whatnot. And so we did a PET scan, I think a little bit before the 6-month period, to kind of see what was giving, to see if that explains some of my issues. And sure enough, it does still show that my, like, I might not have like a big tumor left, but obviously cells and stuff and other tumors are there that could potentially be the reason why it's struggling. But yeah, so it's been kind of like a challenge of how do I still move on with highs and lows. It's not easy. I really hate being like a mystery, because it's still like frustrating when I get new symptoms or when I don't feel good. I want nothing more than to feel better, obviously. Like, I just kind of was dealt not a great hand, but trying to make the best of it. And I know she's doing her best to work through it. I know she's working with my entire team of physicians and specialists, so I'm hoping that gets better. I know it basically got brought down to, like, my endocrinologist was going to try doing like a pump for me, one that's just insulin, and then another one that's like what is it called? It's glucose that's continuously going, so that I'm never really hitting a low, because I'm being given sugar all the time. But that's a little bit that's expensive for starters, and two, it's hard to get that approved by the FDA, because normally most people who are diabetic, our pumps are used for insulin, not the glucagon portion. So that's still in the works. But I was also asked to potentially, like, my best bet right now is to get a service dog, but that also too is expensive. And it's unfortunate that life-saving medications have to be so expensive. Like, I don't understand the medical field when it comes to that, or our insurances, when stuff that I need this stuff. Like, I rely on my Dexcom, I rely on the pumps, my shots, like, you name it, because I need that in order to stay afloat, in order to be considered, normal. And so it is frustrating when I haven't been able to do that. I get mad at myself because I feel like I am failing when I can't control my body or what it's doing. And it's the same with, like, my eating. I still have yet to get, like, the full ability to eat. I mean, having gastroparesis is no joke. It's really hard to really eat anything knowing that you get full so fast, or nauseous. And so it makes it hard to, like, not just eat, but for me, grocery shopping has become like a challenge, and I'm gonna try not to get upset by that, because the grocery shopping to me overwhelms me now. Like, it's not something that, I mean, it's overwhelming in general to go, but for me it is just hard because I see stuff that I really want and I know that I can't eat it. Like, it's just gonna be heavy, and I can't just eat the way I mean, I wouldn't say used to eat, because I didn't really eat great then either, but a long time ago I was able to eat normal and hold down food easily. So there are many times I'll try to go to the grocery parlor and I'm overwhelmed and I can't do it, and I leave. And so it's been a battle trying to find or work with my doctor weekly to send, like, a diary of what I eat, so that we can like, figure out what can we add this week, what's going to be considered a safe food. And for people with gastroparesis, like, you guys are aware that not everyone's safe food is the same for everybody, and certain foods are a lot easier to digest than others. And it's unfortunate, like, the things that I'm really, really into fruit wise are also not, even though they're fruits and they're good for you, I guess it's not necessarily good for your digestive system because of how long they sit or something. Don't quote me on that. But it has to do with that. And so it's hard because I'm already limited to what I can eat, as well as I'm just eating is is like a chore for me every day. Like, I know I have to eat, and I hate hearing people telling me that I need to eat. But it's not as simple as people think it is, and people who have any like digestive issues or dealing with the same thing as me understand that eating is challenging. So I think just trying my best is all I can keep doing. But I did get good news, because obviously I'm still struggling a lot more than what we anticipated. We had to reach back out to Seattle. They approved my referral for surgery, and this time this surgery would be to remove the remainder of my pancreas and anything else that they need. As far as I'm concerned, it would just be the remainder of my pancreas, which means I will be living off of insulin for the rest of my life, which is not ideal. But I also would rather have that, because if you tell people you're diabetic, doctors know how to deal with that a little bit easier than if you're diabetic and then have neuroendocrine tumors on top of that. Like, that's rare, and so it just makes it hard. And I feel like a word that I've heard a lot in the last 8 months is I'm perplexed. Everything I do, I'm a mystery. It's difficult, and I know it sucks, and I want to be normal more than like anybody can probably understand. Like, I want to be 31 and just function and not have to worry about it playing like Russian roulette with my blood sugars. Like, is it safe to go here? If I eat this, am I going to be able to keep it down? So I feel like it's a daily battle with myself. It's at work, wherever I'm at, it's a battle. But I'm hopeful, because next week I get to meet with Seattle, and I'm not going to let them push me around. If I've learned anything in this process, is advocate for yourself, because you know yourself better than anybody else. Doctors obviously have expertise, but they're not living in your body. They're not seeing that every day. And luckily I have the most incredible PCP, as well as my endocrinologist, who, working with my oncology cat, have like really just, they've made it so it's not as like scary to walk through this journey. It doesn't mean it's not easy. I do hate it, because it's hard to function, do anything. I don't want to burden people. I just want to, for once, tell people I'm doing so good that I feel like me again, and that hasn't been like that, but that's okay. But I will keep you guys posted. I definitely will send another probably video in a couple weeks, but stick around, continue to follow me. I do apologize for going ghosting. I think I needed time to heal a little bit and to really truly find myself, find my walk with the Lord again, and just kind of just be me and find me. And so I think I'm doing that, and I'm excited to see where to go. I'm excited to do this surgery, even though I know it's a massive risk I'm taking again, but it's a risk I'm willing to take if it means that I'm not so perplexed. So thank you.